Okay, here's a quick tutorial on creating gallery poses for The Sims 4. What you basically need to do is download Sims 4 Studio. I'll have a link for you in the description on this video. Basically just create an account, download Sims 4 Studio. That's all you need to do. Some people say you need to download a second Blender, etc. You don't. It automatically downloads the correct variant of Blender for you when you actually create the file. I could delete it, but for some reason my recording software, the minute it downloads and installs Blender, it seems to stop recording the screen, so you won't see what's going on. So I'm avoiding that this time round because I've tried 5 times and this is my 6th attempt, and I've decided I'm not going to download Blender this time. I'm going to leave it on board my computer and go from there. So anyway, what you need is Sims 4 Studio. Open up Sims 4, once you've downloaded it and opened it, put your create name down in the bottom right here. For creating poses, have override selected on animation and then click animation. There's different variants of poses. I'm going to do an adult. You can search and find for the different variants. I'll leave a link in the description of the different variants of poses that you can use, like secondary, kids, pets, but what I'm going to do for the time being is just do an adult. So up in the search bar, do A for adult, underscore, and then you're after a portrait thumbnail, so hit POR short, and it then gives you a link of all the different variants. So you've got elders, females, generics, males. There's 6 variants of female. Now when you're making poses, you can only have 1 variant of each type in your mods folder at the same time. So try to make 6 poses using 1 of each of the different numbers. Otherwise you'll have conflicts trying to find the pose that you create. So what I'm going to do is let's go female 1 next. Let's save it as female gallery pose 1. Oh, gallery pose, POSE 1. Yep, that's better. And save. What you do is export. Once you've saved it, export. And what it'll do, if you haven't got Blender installed, once you go to save this file, it will automatically give you a pop-up to download the Blender that's required, which is 2.70. So just so you know, it automatically downloads. You don't need to download it separately. You download it after Sims 4 because it automatically gives you a pop-up to download the correct one. You don't have to go finding it on Blender website or anything like that. Right, so this one's a female gallery pose 1. As you can see, tried a few attempts at this before, so let's go again. Let's click save. Yeah, it's already there. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I do. Okay, now when you click on the export, it won't show this. It will give you a pop-up for Blender. You then download, install the Blender, and then you go back to this file again and click export again, and then it'll actually export the file to the Sims 4 projects folder. Okay, so that's done. We can close that. Here it is in the folder. So what we'll do is we'll open that, and Blender's installed. The version that this one's running is version 2.70, and that's what you need for working with Sims 4 Studio. Okay, now you can use your mouse wheel for scrolling in and out. Use the shift and mouse wheel for scrolling up and down, and control and mouse wheel for moving left and right once you're in the center. Okay, let's hit 1 and it brings us to the center. Let's just scroll a little bit. There we are. Right, now for adjusting the face in a pose, always do it first before moving the rest of the body. So if you want it to have a smile or a slightly closed eye, do all that first. before maneuvering the body itself. Okay, so what you do is, there's the two edges of the mouse, so we'll right click on that so it's highlighted. Now for the mouth you can use the G key. I mean, if you hit the R key, there's two main keys that you use, the R key and the G key. R key once will give you a pivot. Yeah, don't really need that, so right mouse button to cancel. Hit the R key twice and that will give it like a pivot, but not as much. Right click again to cancel that, but with a G key once you can then maneuver the mouth, corner of the mouth, to a smiley sort of position. So we'll move that one over there, right click, G key, move that one over there. Okay, that's the mouth sort of like with a bit of a smile. What we do is we'll open the mouth. To try and find the jaw, you'd think, oh, where do I go to find to move the jaw? It's easier just to look on the dope sheet summary, scroll down until you see jaw, left click it, see that's where the jaw is, right located up there. Hit the G key for the jaw. I mean, you can use the R key, which will make it do the old rock and roll, you know, sideways chin, you know what I mean. Right click, cancel that movement. Right, for jaw, on the G key, you can move it down a little bit till it smiles, or you can cancel with the right mouse, or you can R key twice and it'll pivot. It's like okay, so we'll just open that a little bit. So with the jaw you can use either double tap of the R key or the G key. Right, mouth is open slightly. There we are. Okay, right, for eyes, see, I always scroll up and down on this to find the eyes. Right, left eye. R key rotates it, which isn't really the thing to do. So R key to cancel. Right, click even. Right, hit the R key twice, and that will pivot the eye, so you can make it maneuver in its socket. And right click to cancel. If you use the G key on the eye, you can move the whole eye. So it's like, whoa, where's the eyeball gone, man? Let's you know, stick it to, you know. Anyway, right click cancel. So for moving the eyes, you can two taps of the R, so you've got the green and red arrows by your mouse cursor, and you can then pivot the eye to whichever direction you want to do. Now for the upper lids, where's the upper lid? Scroll, that's upper lip, that's not the eyelid, so left eye, upper lid. R key, you can obviously twist it, make it a bit funky, twice, and you've got eye open closed. So there you go, there's one eye closed. You can also use the G key for the upper lids, depending on what you're wishing to do, but it's always best to try and do it from the front. Obviously, like now I've moved, hit the one key, brings me straight back to front again. Right, now we're going to move the neck. Let's R key once, makes it pivot left and right. Right mouse button to cancel. R key twice, makes so you can look up and down and around and left and right. It pivots all over the place, so you can look down a little bit and off to one side, and left mouse to confirm. Okay, now we've got the right eye, so we'll find that over here. Right eye, double tap the R key to rotate, and where that white dot is, put the pupil where the highlighted section that you've selected is, and that's it, confirmed that it's going to be looking at the camera. Okay, so that's that. That's the eye, the head tilted. Let's now pivot the arms up a little bit. Put that one up. that one down a little bit, and then obviously that is basically just so we know that it's our pose. You'll see your pose when it's in game. It's not hard to miss compared to the Max's poses. Right, now when you're wanting to move the whole body, select root bind when your dope sheet summary, and then it brings up these arrows. If you do it on a separate point, like for instance left cheek, if you've got any one of these highlighted, like left eye, it will still show these arrows, but when you move it, it's moving just the eyeball itself. And there's the eye over there and the body's back here, so what you do, Control Z will cancel that maneuver. Right, so you select root bind to move, and then obviously left click and hold the arrow, and that helps it move towards the front. Right up the front is really close up shot of your face. A bit further back is like your head and shoulders, a bit further back is like just above the waist. Third line in is usually your waist and head, and further back obviously you get a full body shot. Here is pretty much the waist, sorry, this is your waist area, and further back here will include your legs, so full body, middle to waist, head and shoulders, and face. So that gives you a rough idea of where you need to put the pose depending on what you want. If you want a real extreme close-up, or a full body shot, or just above your waist. So let's just cancel the movement because I want to leave it directly in the center, so Control Z. Right, so that has pretty much everything set. It should show roughly the waist, the head, and the arm sticking out. Probably lose part of the arm or the hand maybe on the camera shot in game, but it's all good. Right, once that's all selected, once you've finished doing all your maneuvers, like for instance say I'm just going to move this just to show you, right, we'll put that there. Once you've finished and you're happy with the pose, select root bind so that no other joints are selected. Just select root bind, so that's where your root bind's located, on the waist. What you do is hit the A key twice until all of these are highlighted, then hit the I key, which brings up the menu, and select lock rot, which is location and rotation. So basically all of the location and rotations of all the joints of your pose model, clicking that will then store it into your dope sheet summary, which, there we go, that moved slightly, so there's a bit of extra added information thrown in. And then what you do is you click save. Over here it will save. This will move back to here once it's saved. There you go, it's just moved back. That's saved. Now we can close that. Okay, this is the female gallery pose that we're creating. So we'll drag that out here because we're not easy to find. Okay, we can close that. Now we open up the package file. We import the file we just created. So let's see, Gallerypose 1, there it is. Click open. There we go, it's importing the animation. Click save. Okay, so that's the pose package saved that we've just made. Now we need to put that into the mods folder. I have a shortcut already to it because I've already used it, but all we'll do is delete that. Okay, what we're after is documents, electronics arts, Sims 4, and then mods, which will be the next page up. Obviously this folder will be empty when you first start using it. I created a couple of folders to put stuff in, like cast poses and posters, etc. And then the resource file, that was something else. I think that appears after it's registered that you're using mods. So what we do is we'll open up the pose folder, we'll put this new pose in. Okay, we'll close that down. We'll then start the game. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'll have a quick swig of coffee while this is loading, because my computer is quite old. So It's not top end spec like most. Okay, and then obviously mods doesn't pre-screen or support mods, but once you create mods, it will then show in the list of custom content. Now make sure that in your game options other you have enable custom content and mods enabled. Make sure it's got a tick. If you haven't got that ticked, get it ticked, apply the changes, and then close your game down and restart it. You'll have to restart. It will tell you you have to restart the game. Or in fact, I don't know whether it does actually tell you, but you need to, so that it registers the mods that you're installing. Right, so I'm going to load game. Let's get this pose loaded up. Okay, so I'm just going to join them there. So we made a female pose. Oh, there's a female there already, so that's just, before you can save a household, you've got to slap some traits on it. So there's some quick traits. Let's see, name, Mandy Smith. That'll look. Okay, so there's a Mandy Smith. Click on save household, and you just keep clicking randomize portrait until the pose that you've just created shows. So we just keep clicking, and there it is. There's the pose, looking at the camera, eyes shut, arms where I left them, and left directly in the center. It shows just above your waist and the head, and there we go. It even includes the whole hand. Look. Now with the game, it does reverse the image sometimes. So you have the two options, like for instance now you have it facing one way, or I can keep clicking. The same way again. It does actually reverse and show the way you set, so you have to just keep clicking until it shows the direction that you want. Like for instance, I know that the arm to the left was sticking out the other way, so we just have to keep going until it shows it. There we are. And now it's showing the arm the correct direction, the arms, the eyes, the head, everything's how I set it up in a pose. So with the game, obviously it shows both mirrored version and the correct version that you created, so you just have to keep clicking the camera until the pose the way you said it shows, and then all you do is you click save household, and then open up the gallery, go to your library, and there it is, saved with the pose that was just created. There we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll leave a couple of notes underneath the post, underneath the video, in the description for finding which types of file to look for when creating poses, and also the link to Sims 4 Studio to download Sims 4 Studio. So anyway, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and see you again sometime.